Hey folks, welcome back to the shop. Frank here, working on the Cub Cadet 4x4 articulated tractor. Last week we worked on the dash and got the power steering valve and the speed control lever mounted in the dash tower. So we're going to extend that now to the two hydrostatic transmissions. I've got the flexible shaft and I've also got a inline clutch. So we're going to install that stuff. Let's get going. Good bit of flexibility here because it's a self-aligning bearing. Now I'm only doing this because I'm getting ready to put a clutch in here and I need this bearing to support the clutch. And almost don't need this U-joint. Probably don't. Universal joint. But I'm going to leave it for the time being till I see how things work out here. Alright, so this is the clutch, and this is the driven section, and this is the drive section, this is the driven section. Right, so it's a centrifugal clutch. It's rated at 13 horsepower, 3,600 RPM, which is what this arrangement will be. And I'm going to put it basically right here. So I need this bearing to support this component. of the clutch, right? It's a snug fit in here, getting everything in, but it'll work fine, I think. Okay. Oh, look at you guys. Look at you guys. Yeah? What you doing over here, huh? Coming to check things out? You want a treat? Let's go get a treat. All right, let's see about a treat. Let's see if we can find a treat. Ah, got a whole bag of them. Dream sticks made with peanut butter. They love these. Check my zero again, and within 2 thousandths. Okay. Okay, so we got this coming out of the universal joint. This goes on the driver side. Okay. All right, so that's, I'm a little shy right there, but that's okay. And then let's see how this goes. All right, I don't want my key. I'll trim this key about 1/4 of an inch. All right, let's put this back together. See how it fits. I can't go anywhere. It's constrained by the shoes inside. All right, we're going to go with this for the time being, unless we're proved wrong. Dogs are howling about something out there. Oh, these guys are... So this is what you call fabrication in situ. S-I-T-U, in situ. In place. Build it in place. That way you know it fits. You guys making too much noise outside. Come here. Brew Brew, come here. You're outside making too much noise for 8 o'clock at night. Too much noise for 8 o'clock at night. Yeah, okay. Good boys. All right, so this looks a little short. I need to move this back. That's hot. I just welded this thing together. I need to be back here on the threaded portion. All right, let's see. Got to get this off. All right, so the plan here, in case you're trying to figure out what I'm doing, I will use the speed control shaft connected to the one side of the trunnion. Over here there's a hole that might weld this little bracket on, and then this one will follow. Basically, it'll slave to the first one, and it'll operate the rear. Little dust boots on the operating shaft. All right, so let me So the important thing here is being able to achieve full travel on both hydrostats. All right, I need to get some 1/4 nuts to put, oh, there's my putchie. I got them locked in here. I normally don't use the welder when they're locked in here, but they're making so much noise outside and I want to finish this tonight. So they're on the other side of the shop, but Butchie's clearly upset. Daddy, what are you doing? You're not supposed to be welding with us in here. They're on the other side of the room, so not a safety issue, it's just they don't like the noise. All right, so I mean, clearly I have to have a bend in this to take up the extra slack, because not exactly the right distance apart, though they're pretty close, 4 feet. All right, making progress. All right, folks, that's it for this week. I've plumb run out of time. I've got to go out of town for a couple days tomorrow morning. So I wanted to finish this video up. So it may be a little short, but accomplished the 2 things I set out to do largely is get the steering valve mounted, which took some fussing most of yesterday to take care of that, and almost 6 hours of work on that. And speed control, not quite done with that. I've got the cable, the cable between the 2 transmissions largely done. I got to tweak it a little bit. I got to get some 1/4 inch 28 nuts. I don't know that I have any. I might have some. Most of what I stock is National Course hardware. Now I do have some smaller screw assortments that are in, you know, 6/8, number 6, 8, 10, and 12, which are both coarse and fine thread, but anything bigger than 1/4, pretty much all I stock or keep on hand is National Course thread. So need to go get some fine thread nuts for these connections. I think I'm real close here. A little bit of tweaking on adjustments, and there'll always be some of that. And once we get the transmissions running, I've got to fine tune the linkage between the 2 transmissions so they're synchronized. And I have to put up on jack stands, run the engine, watch the wheels rotate, and set it so they both rotate at the same speed, they both stop at the same time, they both rotate in the same speed backwards and forwards. So synchronization of the hydrostats. In my experience, it's really difficult to get them exact because the transmissions are they're not discrete drivers, they're fluid based, so there's some flex, some ambiguity in the rotational output speed for the given input rotation speed. So it's not an exact science. You can get them close. What happens is one is going to drive a little bit more than the other, so the other will get dragged along. If the first one loses traction, then the second one will take over. So to get them to both push equally at the same speed, I mean, you need a gear transmission or chain drive to accomplish that. So I don't have that. These are hydrostats. It'll work nonetheless. It'll work fine, but the synchronization is an approximate thing. Can't get it perfect. And even once you get it perfect, it's not going to stay that way because, like I said, there's ambiguity. Maybe that's a a good term. Ambiguity in the output RPM for any given input RPM. Depends on load and a lot of other things. So, but we'll be able to do it. It'll work fine. So the last thing is the linkage between the lever on the dash to the first transmission, and then the second transmission will slave off of that, and it'll work fine. So we'll come back next week working on that, and I think my next thing to do is get the engine running again, gas tank mounted, and get the engine running. So with any luck, that's on next week's agenda. So leave me a comment, tell me what you think. Always appreciate the comments. Subscribe if you haven't already. Ring the notification bell. You want to get notified upcoming episodes, share with your friends, give a thumbs up, a like on the video. That'd be great. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.